I've been thinking about time as I walk through this very beautiful wood early in the morning. And I've stopped by this very old tree. Indeed, this tree I think is so old, I imagine that it was probably around not just last time Pluto was in Capricorn, which was the 1770s, but the time before that, which was the 1520s. So at the time of Henry VIII, this tree was probably a little sapling. Maybe it was already a tree. It's old. And that set me thinking about time in general, the time in woods, because you have mushrooms which come up overnight. They're on a completely different clock. Or we've just met some great tits, which I'll show you some pictures of, which they live about 3 years. That's their lifespan. So and this tree is probably 500 years old. So there are different cycles of time within nature, and it's useful to think about that maybe when you're thinking about astrology too, because obviously you know that some of the planets have these very long cycles, such as Pluto, which turns direct today. Pluto has a cycle that is 260 years or so. It takes a very long time for Pluto to go around. And then you've got the moon, which takes 28 days to go around, go through the entire zodiac. So you've got cycles within cycles within cycles, these little cycles. And sometimes it's useful to think of ourselves. You know, we look up to the stars and we realize that we're only a little tiny, tiny speck of nothing in this vast universe. But if you think about another dimension, which is the fourth dimension of time, we're also only a tiny, tiny speck in the great swathe of history that our little lifespan is very, very short compared to this tree. And this week is even more minuscule, and this moment is nothing at all. And when you contextualize your life in that way, it can be very liberating, actually, to think about things in a much broader way. And I think that's quite useful to do as we come into this Pluto turning direct, and Pluto and Saturn are coming together, and we are in most historical times. We're in a great moment of history. And we don't really know, none of us alive today are really going to live long enough to see what the results of this will be. Only our descendants will know that. And on that profound note, I'll leave you. See you next time.